Venetian energy. I want to say salutations to my madrina, to my oba, and to my padrino, and all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Najays. To each and every one of you guys that are tuning in. If this is your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the HRs. What I like to do on today, I want to say first of all, salutation to Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. To each and every one of you guys, I want to say that this channel is for melanated people. What's up there, my Stormy, my Sagittarius from Detroit? I want to make sure that you have a clarity and understanding of these teachings and what they are significantly for. Now, what I do, sir and ma'am, I teach universal laws because they apply to each and every one. They're applicable to each and every individual. And so therefore, whether you ignore it or whether you comply, you're still affected by it. I want all of you guys to know I'm very excited about our conjure class. I had to go to Miami again, and I got some things, and I I'm working with Centel, and I have to have brown candles, and I think I left some at the church, but I needed some more, but they running out, and so it's a lot of workers that go to this warehouse, and some of them have way more money than I have, so they buy their stuff by the pallets, so. But I was able to get some of the things I needed. I'm preparing for Ogun ceremony, and I am also preparing for this conjure. I want to say conjure is about rituals, and so there will be rituals performed in that conjure class, even though it's on a beginner's level, but it will be here to help the masses to educate themselves about how to start and where conjure come from. What's up, Mama Susan? My Gemini in the house. There's Demetrius, Gemini, and then I got my Ryan in the house, Libra in the house, Cardinal Air. So I want to. What's up, baby Scorpio? How you doing? So I want to start off explaining. I'm a very thorough teacher because I've been doing magic ever since I was a child. I'm 52 years of age. I am operating in various of traditions. Is that my Taurus? Okay, my Taurus in the house. Well, how you doing, love? I want you guys to understand that I have to always teach. If I'm gonna teach a subject, I have to teach it from the pros and the cons. I have to teach it from a universal perspective, and I can only talk about what I do, because everybody's different based off their gift, their talent, and ability, or their professionalism, or how they conduct their ceremonies. So I want to talk about something today because some of you have partaken in some of my rituals, some of my ceremonies, and I want you to have a better understanding. My subject is ceremony, what it is, and what to expect, or what to be expected. When it comes down to ceremony, I'm going to give you the definition. Because with melanated people, when they're not focused on facts and they're focused on feelings, they redefine things. So the understanding of a ritual or a ceremony is a ritual, the ritual observance and procedures performed at a grand or formal occasion. That's when I got crowned. A ritual is a religious or solemn ceremony. This is when we do rituals to consecrate candles, consecrate Gregorian baths. Rituals consist of almost anything. Solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. In other words, whatever tradition you are in or whatever you're doing, hoodoo, voodoo, obeah, there's a set of rules and way that you go about doing your rituals. And every tradition can be doing money work, but the way they execute their rituals can be vastly different. In Haitian voodoo, it's Veve. In Palo, it's Pati Pimba. Rituals. We're all using designs to represent energy, frequency, and vibration, but you have to use the prescribed order of things depending on the ritual. Now, what I want to say is, what's up, Triranda? This is exactly what I was going to ask. What should I have tomorrow? Wow, energy. So, first of all, a ritual, depending on the person. What's up, Jeremy? Depending on the person, is how a ceremony or a ritual is executed. What people have to understand, when you go into a ritual, you're dealing with energy. The wisest thing to do is go into that ritual with the understanding of what type of ritual it is or type of ceremony. Okay, after that, what's important is that you actually trust the people or persons performing the ceremony or the ritual. On top of that, hopefully you would know the spirits that are going to be involved. And hopefully you have a relationship with those spirits before you enter into a ceremony or ritual. This is why I take out my time and explain my rituals. I explain my ceremonies so people know what they're getting involved in. Now, this is something that you should do as an individual. If you're going to partake in something energetically, you should have a base understanding. Does that mean you're going to understand everything concerning the ceremony or the ritual? No. But you have a base understanding what to expect out of that particular ritual. Now, I'm going to say some things that may come across offensive. Depending on what that ceremony is, depending on what that ritual is, you get what you put in. I'm going to say that again. If I'm doing a good luck ritual and Sister Triranda gives a base of $100, then Stormy says, I want the same ritual, but I need you to amp it up to $500. You see where I'm going? There's no way that I'm going to do the same type of energy work over Trionda's candle that I'm doing over Stormy's candle. Because Stormy put more resource or more currency in that ritual. Therefore, Trionda cannot expect the same type of outcome. This is why I explain to people, if you want it stronger, you can do this and you can do that. I always try to make, when my rituals, this is the base to enter into this energetic ritual. It's too many people in a ceremony or ritual, in my opinion, that has unrealistic expectations. You get what you pay for. Now, if you have paid $500, then you need to get the energy work for $500. Now, if you gave $2,000, depending on the tradition and depending on the ceremony, that ain't no money. Too many melanated people are poor and they're broke. And they're trying to do spirituality. If you're going to college on student loans, it's going to be more challenging than somebody's parents paying for them. Y'all going to the same place, but y'all economics are not the same. If you're fooling with certain African traditions and somebody tell you, I'm going to do a court case for you for $500, you're not getting none of that. Even talking about doing it just depending on the case. If you don't want to be lied to, and you shouldn't have to be, if you don't want to be deceived, and you shouldn't have to be, then you, as a grown man or woman, should understand that you cannot buy $1 million house for $10,000. If everybody else overall is kicking out a certain amount of money and resources for their ceremonies, and somebody is promising you something cheaper, then you get what you pay for. Because in true spirituality, everybody tries to make, oh, you spending too much money, you get what you pay for. I told you this, even down to the cheapest of spiritual, they're gonna have to go up on their prices. Because when Donald Trump finished with all these tariffs and all that, everything gonna cost more. And you're gonna spend more money for a whole lot less. This is why I say get your tools while you can. Why I say things are accessible. So let me give you this example. Two people get married. One goes to the courthouse and the other one goes and has a elaborate church wedding, and the pastor or the preacher or the minister after the ceremony signs the documents and sends it to the courthouse. Both of them are legally married, but one invested in their ceremony, therefore they got all the bells and the whistles. You got the bare bones. I remember going through my ceremony, crowning and Minister Mario, and the people in the Elay were telling Padrino, oh, you didn't do that for my ceremony. You didn't do that for my crowning. You didn't do that for my husband. He said you ain't spend money like that. When I walked out of my ceremony, Oya does not come with Ochosi, but I have a Ochosi. But it wasn't for free. I want y'all to really understand why understanding is so important. I want you to understand not only just like a mechanic, you have to pay for parts and labor. And depending on the tradition, because I can't speak for everybody that's working, because I'm not fit to do nothing for, and I mean nothing for crumbs. And I'm very straight up and honest about it, because I pay out of my ass for my stuff. And I have quality stuff. So if you going to Dollar General, and I can see why you feel the way you feel and charge for what your rituals, but that's not me. And so therefore I don't want to infringe on nobody. That's why I tell people I'm talking about me. How you set up your business, how you set up your rituals. When you see my stuff, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The adjective that I get for my ritual is beautiful and powerful. I never leave out the energy, because a ritual without energy is good for nothing. Now, what I have to ask, how much energy was put into that ritual? How much energy was put into that ceremony? The reason I keep having the outcomes that I have when it comes to my rituals, because I know that it's all about energy. All the bells and the whistles, the formality is beautiful if you have done the energetic work. But what is it for me to have a beautiful altar and it can't manifest? Somebody else can have a less attractive altar and it can get more done if that energy is there. You understand? So when it comes down to a ritual, you gotta first understand what it is. Just like I told you guys about the 13th circle. Because you're ignorant of what the number 13 is, what a 13th circle is, you don't even understand the circle. Therefore, if you decided to come in, that's why I break things down, because I need you to benefit from the ritual. I need you to benefit from the ceremony. And the only way that you can do that, if you have at least have an understanding what it is and why we're doing it. And what's the initial benefit of doing certain rituals and ceremonies. Like I was discussing with one young lady, I told her, I said, when you in a situation, you know you done did this and that and everything you know to do, then that's why we do utilizing the good luck candles, because this has to do with chance. This has to do with faith, and so therefore we need something to move in our behalf. We need good luck in our love life, good luck in our financial life, good luck in our health. All of these different things energetically, once you partake in them, you benefit out of the energy. So all those that got the good luck candle, let me explain it like this, because that was I did a ceremony to call the energy, and then I did rituals in that ceremony. I did a ceremony, and then I did individual rituals over the candle. So that's why I utilize the amethyst And because I know that I work with a lot of people, and to keep everybody's energy online, and not interfering in somebody else's working, I had the amethyst in a circle, and then I did a ritual, and I have in a hikata. I blessed that chamomile and other ingredients I put in there, and I put my extraterrestrial elixir in there, and so now you see the energy not only in the ceremony but the energy in the ritual. But the reason why they only gave $100 because most of my people are very, very supportive of me. If it wasn't for the level of support, I could not afford to ask for a donation of $100 for those candles. If I'm going to use that kind of energy, frequency, and vibration, I could not afford if I did not have the level of support. So there's a lot of factors that go in money and energy that is done in rituals and ceremonies. And some are more elaborate than others. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's still a ceremony and it's still a ritual. Now, how much energy does a Tata Mambo, Hugon, Pastor, Apostle bring to that? That varies from person to person. And it will be unfair to me without knowing all involved, not knowing the facts involved, to speak on how everybody else do their rituals. I know what Padrino Michael did with me. I know what he did with Minister Mario, son of Ochosi. I know I can verify that. Now, when he did business, he itemized everything. He gave me a cost for everything. And I still end up spending more than he said I was going to spend. And that's what happens when you're in Ocha. That's what happened when you're in Palo. Unforeseen costs because your egos are asking for certain things. And that's what you need to know, that when you go into these rituals or into the initiations, that it's not about what the Oba is talking about or the Tata Oriente is talking about, or your Madrina or your Padrino or your Baba. It's all about what your ancestors say they need in order to help you. That is very important for you to have understanding. And depending on what type of rituals that you're in. Let me tell you another thing. When y'all go from tradition to tradition, do you not understand that that energy signature of that ritual is still there? And if people don't understand that energy ritual, how do they know how to navigate with it or around it? That's when I work with people and they go to somebody else. People be looking at you with their head to the side. My own Padrino said, I do not understand your magic. He said, I'm looking at things. He said, when you talk, there's a snake on you. And he said, every time you talk, that snake moves. And he said, that kind of magic made me nervous. He was straight up. He was honest that he did not understand my magic, neither did he understand my rituals. Even through my crowning process of my ceremony, my loas stopped the ceremony and then requested certain things. You got to be aware of all those things if you're going through ceremony. If you're getting a ritual done, a ritual consists of anything. You can get a ritual for healing, love, prosperity, good luck. It's so many things that people can, whether it's hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo. But depending on their skill set and how much energy that they can muster. And also depending on what you paying for. Because the truth of it is, a lot of people think they're giving a lot of money because they do it in the church. You're not giving that kind of money. You done gave some money over time, but you don't give that kind of money. I'm going to say it again. If a man came and gave you $200 a month, over a year, he going to be talking about how much money he gave you. And you would holler about, you ain't holler give me shit. You ain't give me about $200. But he going to think about over 12 months, he been giving you $200. That ain't no money. Not what it takes for you to live daily, weekly, and monthly. $200 ain't gonna go that far. $1,000 ain't gonna go that far. $5,000 and it's not gonna go that far. Especially dealing with somebody who do contra like me. Cause I got to make sure I ain't being raped. I can be generous, but I told her I'd rather do that work for free before I let you give me that little bit of money. I'd rather do it for free, and I ain't gonna do that. But I want you to know how much an insult that is for what I put out. Your $100 ain't paid for all of that. But because you've been good to me and you've been supportive and you've been consistent, because there's a lot of factors why one spiritualist may do something and why another won't. You may get certain perks with certain spiritualists. I done seen people give somebody $500 and they lose their mind. That's not gonna happen with me. And that don't make me a bad person. That means that I'm set up very, very, very different than most people. But I also give out quality work. I also am a blessing to my clients. But that ain't got nothing to do with the ritual. Whatever it takes, because a part of my ceremony is sometimes I have to go to Miami because that saber tree is what I've been working with for years. And that's where I want to do that particular work. And I do let you know that. But that's travel time. I still have liquor. I got to have cigars. All of that stuff. I got to have that present for those working. Just for those ceremonies. Those cleansings. Whether it's coconuts, whether it's oranges. Not oranges. We did apples and bananas. Because we were doing a ritual with Shango. And all the orishas were with that tree. All of that got to be paid for. The gas, the food, not only the food for the spirit. I got to feed the graveyard. Hello? It's a whole ceremony I have to do and a ritual I have to do for the graveyard, the guardians of those cemeteries. I got in there. I have to acknowledge them as well. And then proceed with my ceremony or ritual. This is why I say, you guys want in on this? Because I'm already raised in spirits. I done already had the conversation. And that's where you get blessed from the ceremony or a ritual coming from a man or woman of God. Everything is and not skipping step. No, skip on. Amen. So, a lot of times when you are participating, I want you to think about it like this. There's the difference between somebody starting a birthday party from scratch, going to get all the food, this and that there, and the party favorites, and if it's for a child, it's a boy, something blue, if it's a girl, whatever, or they had then you got to run around because they wanted teenage mutant turtles, or if it's an adult person, they want to do a party for disco. I'm just using things as example. The more specific you get, the more you got to run around and find all this stuff. You got to order some. You got to go to this party place. You got to go to this costume place. You go all around it. Who pay for all this? When Padrino out there getting animals, and see, I want you to know the difference in a ceremony. When you show up to the party, everything's done. The music is in place. The playlist is in place. The refreshments are in place. The food is cooked. All you got to do at that point is participate. But the person that did the ceremony, they did the ritual, they tired as hell. And now they got to entertain you, or you going to feel some type of way. Because if you never did a ceremony, I'm not even having sex. So my energy will be, I have a cutoff line. If I'm doing a certain ceremony, I don't care how freaky I am, I do not engage. Somebody got to pay for that. Because there ain't nothing wrong with this down here. So, is it right because you have a need that I'm giving up certain things of my life and my energy, and you just get that for the crumbs because you're in a situation? All of that needs to be considered. And when spiritualists are not honest with people, or they don't have the capability of performing certain type of rituals at certain type of levels, that's not a me problem. You need to check out where you shopping at. Because you ain't in Bloomingdale's. You in Walmart. This is why you hear me often say, and people still get mad at me, that's why some people don't fool with me. But I'm being honest. I'm not no Dollar General, Walmart, flea market ass spiritualist. The reason why I say that, because if spiritualists look at how much I charge, and there's people that charge considerably amount more than me, and I have the capability of charging more. But because I'm trying to help melanated people, and for whatever reason, you think you overspending and you're not spending enough. I'm just more honest to tell you. Because they need them chemicals and bits. So they're going to put up with that. I'm not going to do it. That don't make them a bad person, and that don't make me a good person. We just do business vastly different. And I have way more to lose and I have way more to give than most people. So if you're gonna get involved in my ceremonies, I explain whether you got full understanding or not. I explain every ritual. I explain every ritual, every ceremony. How you doing, Alicia? Let me see everything you don't like to. Yeah, truth is true, and in this case, I got truth and facts. I want y'all to stop and settle down and really realize that you have never been 100 in nothing. You're learning how to be 100. You're learning how to be committed. You're learning how to give all. Not to me, to your ancestors, to your Egun, to your Orisha, whatever magical system that you claim you trust. Because some of you guys already have trust issues before you walk in the circle. Remember the movie Craft? They said, how do you enter this circle? In perfect love and perfect trust. Each one of them had to enter into that ritual with perfect love and perfect trust. How did you enter that ceremony? How did you enter into that ritual? Even if you didn't set the ritual up, even if you didn't set the ceremony up, what type of energy did you bring? Did you start out with the mindset, I wanted this to work? Did you come in with doubt and unbelief? And the word is probably so. Do you not realize that mindset drains whatever could or should happen for you? Love said it makes sense. I've been doing this so long. And you know what? I consider that everybody wasn't raised like me. And sometimes when people are not aware, don't mean they being disrespectful or even dishonoring the ritual or the ceremony or the Tata Mambo Hugan, whatever, apostle prophet. But the lack of understanding is not understanding not only your energy, what you're supposed to get out of that ceremony. And if other people have, especially when we do spiritual parties with Padrino, a lot of people don't give. And I'm going to say this because Padrino put it out there. One of the last party, a party for Obatala, I paid for everything. When I say everything, everything. And he said this party would not have happened if it wasn't for my godson. And they came in that party like they had put money in that party. They were partying harder than me. They were partying harder than Padrino. They were smoking. They were. And you know why? They do it in church. Just because you in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakuma, Congo, Kamdemle, Kimbanda, all these other ATRs, people are the same wherever you go. I don't care what their nationality, what their culture. They'll come and ride off of the work and the labor that somebody else, or two people, or three, it's always a few people. And the very few people, I remember doing I was feeding at my church. And we had been running around making sure the food, driving the car and trying to make sure that the baked beans don't wait, so the green, you know what I'm saying? You hauling stuff to the church. And you getting all the food out, getting everything set up, and you could do around and doing got everything. And I'll never forget it. I don't think my cousin even remember, but I do. And she had to, I was tired. Mario was tired. So my cousin asked me, "You ain't got no hot sauce?" I almost called her a bitch. I said, "There's a store right across the street. If you want a hot sauce so bad, you ain't got no, and neither ain't paid for shit." I had mustard, I had relish there, I had ketchup there, but I ain't have hot sauce. Love say, I think anyone raised with HR is the average person really should be a part of religion before trying to get initiated. I agree. That's why I did membership. Cause I know, but with black people, when you tell them they ain't ready for something, they think you hating on them. And when I have these conversations and spiritual conversations, y'all got to be honest. Black people are not the easy people in the world to tell them what they can't do, what they ain't ready for, what they ain't got, what they ain't saved up for, how. And I tell people all the time. I say, well, how much time do you have? If you could do the ritual, or you could do the ceremony, do you have the time to do it? Because even if you have the capability, do you have the time? And usually the answer is no, because they're not a full-time spiritualist. And they got either a job or a business to run. And they really don't have that time. So that's why it's more feasible to pay somebody to do that work. Because you're not going to be focused on that work, because your mind is going to be on so many other things. And we all know when it comes down to energy, frequency, and vibration, that wherever your thoughts are, energy follows. And wherever your focus is where your energy goes. I'm telling you, ceremony is like a marriage. Rituals are about the same. Just like you do in your household. You got to wash every week or every 2 weeks. You got to wash dishes. There's rituals are things you do over and over and over and over. You can't say, well, 2 months ago, I washed my ass. That don't fly. And it shouldn't fly because it's nasty. But my point is, a ritual is certain ceremonies you have to do ongoing and over and over and over. It's a part of the ceremony. It's a part of your initiation. This is why Demetrius told me, he said, Apostle, people are not doing this anywhere. You're the only one doing this. And this is a really good way for people to actually learn the ATR. But YouTube, let me tell you something. And I said this and I'll say it again. I don't care who won't like it. When you can't afford $1,200 for Palo membership, and you're going to spend more than $1,200 in Palo and for Palo, if you can't come up with $1,200, you ain't got no business messing with Palo. If you can't come up with $2,000 for membership in Orisha worship, you're going to spend tens of thousands. So if you're struggling, and if you want to practice Haitian voodoo, real Haitian voodoo, not this bullshit y'all, to each their own. But that ain't the Haitian voodoo I'm accustomed to. One of my family members for a ceremony and a ritual was $150,000. You don't got that kind of money, and you can't come up with $3,500. Then you ain't serious. It's just that why are you at the BMW dealership? Why are you at the Mercedes? Why are you at the Rolls Royce? Get your ass on down there to the Toyota. Get your ass on down there to Honda. Get your ass on down there to Civic. And you ain't getting a brand new 2025 or 26 out of near one of them cars. But you gonna come in here act like you all that. You come with the energy wrong. You come with the energy wrong to the ritual and to the ceremony. Most of I don't have that problem. I'm not speaking about because I don't have them problems. Cause I nip stuff in the bud. Cause I can't speak for these people. How they do their rituals. I done got frustrated with other spiritual workers because of how they do stuff. Because I like to do stuff ahead of time. Because I don't like stress. I don't like aggravation. And if something come up, I got opportunity to correct it. Not everybody don't go into their ceremonies like that. I have friends that I done married people on my job, and I done did funerals on my job. And some of them people got money. And so the weddings look very different. I don't even marry a country ass people. Because I love the Lord. I don't judge people. But I ask people, get what you can afford, and whatever you can afford, be consistent in that. That anybody talk to me after every consultation with me, I'm talking about as far as back 20, 30 years, I've always been like that. Don't come in here big balling like you got it going on. I done had them kind of clients. You barely making $15, $16 an hour. And you don't let all these people under you blow your head up like that's some kind of money. That ain't no money. You still in poverty, as far as I'm concerned. You ain't got enough money to save. People are trip. Yeah. My thing is, if you really trying to learn real magic, then certain things shouldn't be coming up. It's the same thing we hear all these men and talking about relationship and what she brings. If you want to marry that woman, why are those the questions you asking about? I'm 52 years old, bitch. I want to know: do you recognize a stroke? Bitch, I want if do you know what herb to take for circulation, so I can be here to fulfill my destiny. Do you know how to warm up a kettle or tea? When you with the bullshit, you ask crazy questions. But when you want somebody, male or female, gay, straight or bi, there's certain questions you ain't finna ask. You gonna do just what that male ego do. You gonna show that female ego. Not only I can carry the weight of if we have a child together, not only can I carry the weight of you, but I can carry my own weight. Why you think Sierra walk around like, cause she got Russell? Bitch, you better find your Russell. You better stop playing with Tyrone now. You ain't heard nowadays Sierra talking about how big Russell is. Cause whatever he lacking in packing, he got in other areas. A real woman that do not equate her existence. And Russell walking future ass out of the future. If that man walked future right out of Sierra future, and why he pushing little baby future. If that ain't a real Negro, if that is not essence of a man, do you hear me? Do you not know how Russell, but Future has to feel what he ever tell Sierra or not? Sierra, them grandma and mama sat Sierra down and said, God damn it, you better leave Future alone or you don't have a future. See, women that have husbands, women that have relationships, women that value certain things, they talk very, very, very different than these hoes. Some of them educated hoes, some of them uneducated hoes. But they give you the wrong advice. And apparently their energy good for each other, cause all he been doing is going up, up, up. All she been doing is going, and he support her and what she's doing, and vice versa. That's a team. That Beyonce and JC, that's a team. I dig it to damn. I love it. I love when a teamwork make a dream work. There's no confusion. And that has nothing to do with perfection. Ain't got nothing to do with it. I can be flawed as I want to be and still execute my ceremonies and my rituals. She had to settle down. Y'all don't want to settle down. You ain't got to settle. You don't have to do anything. All I'm saying, what kind of outcome do you want from your ritual? What you want your ritual to do? You got your good luck candle, all that energy, Ache there. I even sometimes Demetrius testify about I'll send him a picture and he'll examine the energy of the ritual, and sometimes I do it on live. I let you see how strong your candle is. Ma'am, sir, once I have conditioned, once I have went to the cemetery, once I've done the ritual, what are you going to do with the energy? How are you going to reshape your life? Are you ready for the energy, frequency, and vibration that's coming to you? Are you going to keep the same pattern that gives you the same result no matter how much energy? You impact your ritual and your ceremony. When I was getting crowned, I was highly upset. I had just recently lost Minister Samari, son of Achosi. My members were falling by the wayside, and then I had to be on the throne. And so even when my members came, some of them came to support me, I couldn't come out. And I'm a very, very social person. I couldn't. I had one office job, and I got in trouble every single day because I don't like confinement. And I felt confined to that throne. Even though I knew it was part of the ritual, I knew it was a part of the ceremony, but I was so agitated. I gave Petrino a hard time. I ain't gonna lie. I gave him a hard time. And I had got to the point I was gonna walk out of my own ceremony. So don't tell me that you don't affect your crowning, you don't affect your ceremony, you don't affect your rituals. Whether it's a positive energy flow or a negative. Chief, you are so good. The heart and endurance isn't the same for that. I'm just telling you. He bought me, Pedrino bought me this, I was gonna pay for it, cause that's how I am. And he told me, no, I'm gonna pay for it. And it's tiger. And it's a tiger that represents my animal totem. People will bless you. And you ain't got to be perfect. You just got to be fair. How much? Ask anybody, how much do you participate energetically in your rituals? How much you pray before the ritual ever take place and say, you know what? This is what I want out of this ritual. This is what I want out of this candle working. This is what I want out of this incense burn. And therefore you can have an expectation because you ask and you already put the energy in the ritual, and you're not taking something you ain't paying for. This is why I teach people, always pay your way. Don't ever, I'm the wrong person to owe, naturally and spiritually. But you shouldn't owe no man nothing but love. And you should always want to give the energy necessary for your manifestation. And anybody teaching you that it is that simple to manifest, they're lying to you. Cause I don't get everything I want, and I live a charmed life, and I don't always get it when I want it. I end up with it, but I always do not get it when I want it. I get it when I need it. And I'm just being real. And I do ceremonies and rituals daily. And a lot of y'all ain't even got that kind of prayer life. I'm gonna say that again. Most of y'all that walking around here got all these despair, you don't even have that kind of prayer life. You couldn't last an hour in prayer. You don't even know what travailing in prayer is. You don't even can hold a meditation. How long? Maybe a minute. Maybe a minute. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't even conditioned. You ain't even developed like that. Cause you can get away some pussy don't mean you a sex goddess. Everybody that's sucking dick ain't good at it. I told one, your daddy better at it than your mama. And sir, ma'am, those are facts. You can tell when somebody having sex and they enjoy it, and not only enjoy it, they're good at it. Because a whole lot of people having sex, they ain't good at it. So, sex rituals, sex ceremonies, marrying spirits. What are you going in to those sacred, solemn rituals? What energy are you going to bring? Are you going in with distrust? Then you shouldn't do it. I earn my trust with people. After that, you're full of shit. You got the problem. Because each and every client I have, I go out my way to earn their respect and also their trust. Because I take a lot of pride in that. But when you I hear and you dishonoring the circle, you dishonoring the ritual, the energy of that ritual, and what all that person put into that ritual to make things happen. Whether it's a bath, whether it's a cleanser, it don't matter what it is. If it was that easy, everybody be doing it. And I got one better for you. You do the ritual. Let's see how far your ass, and I want you to hold yourself at the same standard you're holding somebody else. Because if you can't perform the ritual, if you can't perform the ceremony and get the results, you will need me. So therefore, you can't judge me. Because whatever I'm doing is better than what you can do for yourself. Now, a lot of spiritualists won't be that bold, but I will. I'll tell your ass in a minute. I tell you what, let me step back and you gonna handle that. There's a reason why I'm chief. There's a reason why you the Indian. The reason why I'm a master and you the student. You the disciple. And a lot of people will not have the problems that they have in these ATR. And I tell y'all, do not go into these people have certain prejudice. Do not let them be able to hide not doing for you behind with their prejudice, because you going in there thinking that man or woman supposed to take care of you and hold your hand. You have a lot of people that are in the ATR that come from the church. You got a lot of people that got some very unrealistic views when it comes to their madrinas, padrinos. I would not have the problems you have because I don't expect them people to do it. And if they do something, I thank God for it. But do I have the expectation? I'm gonna say for sure. You can match my energy in not one ritual. You can create the amount of energy around your aura that I can. And I'm talking about facts, not opinion. Facts. And that's why you should be in my class. And anybody else got any of these questions should be in my class. Or shut your ass up. Shut the fuck up. You ain't in no place to do it for yourself. Apparently. And therefore anything anybody got to offer you to help you, not them, help you, you ought to be grateful and thankful. If you want to know what I teach, go to my website. Anything you want to know for services and products, go to my website. Don't interfere in my life. And one day, hopefully, you will evolve where you ain't taking people's shit either. All right? It's over hour. I hope that I have answered more than enough questions, concerns. I want you to understand where we are and what tomorrow is going to bring. I can rest assure you it's way more than $175. And anybody got questions and concerns? If you ain't in the class, we're not interested. You go play with somebody else that's playing spirituality. And there's plenty of them out there. This ain't the place for you. We do real magic, real spirituality, real conscience. End of story. I'm a thoroughbred. All right. Love y'all. I'll see y'all guys. Don't forget, hit that like button. Don't come in. And at the very least, you can hit that like button. So 8 o'clock tomorrow. Yes. Tentatively, it will be 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock p.m. Sorry. 8 o'clock p.m. 8 o'clock p.m. everybody. And I'll see y'all then. God bless.